So, gentlemen, I'm going to talk about two quiet struggles that many modern women go through. And this is important because for you, it is going to help you to become more discerning when you're interacting with women in social places, in your workplaces, in the church, or even when you're dating. You need to understand these quiet struggles. It will help you to be able to read between the lines and to be able to connect the dots when you are trying to understand the behavior, the words of these women when you're interacting with them. So, to begin with, the tragedy of modern womanhood is not oppression, it is freedom without wisdom, it is choice without consequence, and it is empowerment without accountability. And every man who pays attention can see the fallout like wreckage scattered across the sexual marketplace. For decades, women have been told by pop feminism, by media, and by professors who never married that they can have it all. And yet, as the sociologist known as Catherine Kim, who wrote a book titled Erotic Capital, she points out that empowerment becomes self-sabotage when it is not tethered to reality. And nowhere is this more evident than in the two silent battles destroying the modern woman from the inside out. And that is the hunger for absolution and the terror of social invisibility. Let's start by looking at the crisis of absolution. So when you look at the trajectory of a young woman, she begins her freedom years or her party years with the archetypical bad boy. These are the guys who have high testosterone and they are the thrill seekers that evolutionary psychologist David Bass explains women universally select for short-term mating strategies. David Bass writes about this in Evolution of Desire. Gentlemen, if you're enjoying this video, take a quick moment to like, subscribe, and share. When you subscribe, you'll always get notified when I drop new content. And when you like and share, you help this channel to grow, and more importantly, you help other men to discover the tools that they need to level up. Remember, when one man rises, we all rise. Now let's get back to the video. So, the Matatu taking the values-driven good man is invisible to her during her party years. He's too ordinary, he's too boring, he's too safe, too stable. They want the thrill seekers, the dangerous guys, the bad guys. So she goes where the drama is when she's young. She goes where the chaos is. She goes where the men are desired by every other woman. Okay? So she goes with the party boys, the married men, the swaggering pookies and ray-rays, often ignoring her father's warnings, and predictable as gravity, the same man she chased becomes the man who breaks her. There's always abuse, infidelity, and pregnancy. Then the flight to escape the fire she willingly walked into begins. And after her tears dry, she resurrects herself with Beyonce lyrics, short skirts, fresh wigs, and the immortal question that women ask when they are tired of being recreational. So she'll ask you, where is this going if you're having a relationship with her? So she enters the dating market as a veteran of a war that she refuses to admit she started. She has a string of men who take turns, TX drivers, businessmen, pastors, wash dealers. Notch counts skyrocket. Her sexual marketplace value plummets. Alcohol numbs her conscience, and she wrecks a couple of marriages on the way. Then comes the revelation. Late, brutal, and inescapable, that having a child halves her SMV. Women compete with the younger women and they lose always. So, what does she do? She reinvents herself again. She becomes a church girl. She becomes the Proverbs 31 rebrand. She becomes a motivational speaker. She becomes a Christian counselor. She even becomes a prophetess and performs miracles. Very common here in Kenya. And she will be praying at the altar, God, please give me the man that I deserve. She still has some sense of entitlement. As Oral Tomasi notes in The Rational Male, a woman's post-war epiphany phase is not about transformation. It's about bargaining. So she bargains upward. She bargains spiritually, she bargains socially, and she bargains financially. She never bargains with reality. That's the only problem. Reality does not negotiate. Now, by that time, her teenage son is spiraling. Alcohol, bangi, anger, resentment. Is probably violent. She can't control him. The boy she insisted doesn't need a father is now a man-child, slipping through her fingers. And she finally realizes that she cannot discipline what she cannot dominate. Then depression hits her. Clinical depression. In a study done by Rashida Atkins titled Outcomes of Depression in Black Single Mothers, she says that 70% of Black single mothers exhibit symptoms of mild to moderate clinical depression. They report feelings of powerlessness, loneliness, and emptiness. And this is the cost of choices wrapped in empowerment slogans. And when these women enter my inbox, and many of them do, they normally seek one thing: absolution. They even offer to buy me coffee, and I've met them in coffee places, and they'll tell me, look me deep in the eyes with eyes big as cherries. I did everything right. He failed us. I'm still a good person. Please understand my side. No, I will not absolve you. Your suffering does not erase your agency. Your pain does not rewrite the truth. Your consequences don't disappear because you regret them now. Absolution is not owed. Accountability is not optional. You don't get what you deserve. You only get what you are. Let's now look at the terror of social invisibility. This is the second quiet battle that most modern women struggle with. So women crave their attention the way men crave peace. And nothing terrifies a modern woman more than becoming unseen. You've watched the trajectory. The socialite who divorced quickly so that she could stay desirable to rich men. Okay? Governor 001 had his turn, then he discarded her. Predictably, he did so predictably, like a man that is flicking ashes off a cigar. Okay? Now she spirals into alcohol, weight gain, late night drunk calls, and public embarrassments. She gets a young boy to keep her company. Her beauty is decaying. Her options are sliding. Her audience is shrinking. Below her, on the cliff of invisibility, peri-urban scavengers wait for their turn after the small boy has had his turn. We also have a former newcaster, once a high-value baddie. Now she's a divorced mother of two, posting thirst traps after years of silence. The market greeted her return the way a lion greets a hyena, stealing scraps. With interest, yes, but never with respect. So she still thinks that she is premium. She thinks that her options are endless. She thinks that she can restart where she left off. But as Robin Becker, who is an economist, tells us in Sperm Wars, female sexual agency is time sensitive, while male sexual agency is resource sensitive. So her time is up. Her agency has expired. Her relevance has faded like cheap lipstick on the rain. Many modern women stay single, deliberately thinking that their options remain open. So they post that thirst traps, they bask in DMs filled with married wababas. They have these wababas promising them Dubai trips and car logbooks. Attention becomes dopamine. Dopamine becomes identity. And identity becomes addiction. But social media attention, gentlemen, is a lie. It is a temporary high. It's a sugar rush. It's a currency that evaporates the moment younger, better girls join the market. As Jonathan Haidt and Jean Twenge demonstrate in The Anxious Generation, social media distorts self-worth, it amplifies anxiety, and anchors identity to external validation. Effects that are especially devastating for women. And the irony of this, in the past, women aged gracefully in the arms of family. But today, many women age alone in the harsh fluorescent light of social media irrelevance. Winter is coming, and winter is merciless. So my challenge to you, gentlemen, is you need to watch the patterns, not the excuses. Watch the outcomes, not the narratives. Watch reality, not the rebrands. Modern women's struggles are not random. They are predictable, repeatable, and preventable. And the man who understands this becomes immune to manipulation, immune to guilt tripping, and immune to the chaos of the sexual marketplace. So, have you accepted a woman's story in the past instead of her results? Where have you sympathized with consequences instead of examining choices? And what have these blind spots cost you? So drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Let's talk like men. Get unplugged, and I'll see you on the next one.